And we're live.
All right. So, this is Painting Platinum, and I'm Sadie. This is Justin. Justin,
How you guys doing?
how much are you going to be with us today? You going to be with us a little bit?
As much as I can be, yeah.
A medium?
I mean, I'm obviously getting stuff ready for Reaper Live now that both Ron and Ed actually sent me stuff hours in advance, which is shocking. But
Oh,
yeah, I will say tonight's episode. I will say this much. This is all I'm going to say. Tonight's episode is going to be pretty packed full of some update stuff that everyone wants to see.
awesome. Hi, I might be one. Hi, cool old timer. Cool old timer, is that a new name or are you new to us? So, we're going to continue painting Hajad, Pirate. I'm going to talk about. We released a sample that everybody really likes, and I kind of copied it and made a really really close. Like I'm not sure if I'm going to change it at all, but made a really close kind of copy of it. I'm going to show that. I think that's pretty much it that I can think of. I'm sure I'll just think of something, but yeah, that's what we have going today. I'm gonna switch to my little miniature camera so you can see what's going on. Hold on. So have this guy. I've done his skin, done his pants. I thinned my paints a little bit more on his pants and I think on his skin because I can kind of see, hi Jedi Jared, hi Pewter Rooster. I can kind of see almost like streakiness. So I'm going to go back over that. And I'm kind of curious to see if I thin it out and go back over it, is it going to be like a marker where if you go back over it, it's always going to be darker where it was darker? I don't know. We're going to experiment a little bit, which is fun. So, so, um, put on my glasses here. So we're going to go back with the skin. So we're using dark highlights. I rearranged my little desk here, so hopefully everything is pretty accessible and I don't have to do too much bumpy stuff. But I'm focusing on thinning my paints because that's important, and I usually use like really thick paints. So trying to kind of get that under control. So I'm gonna get like, uh-oh. Hold on. Where do I want to be? Okay. There we go. So anything fun and exciting going on with you, Justin?
Other than the stuff for tonight's episode, I mean, a ton of ReaperCon planning, like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Scenes, behind the scenes, and what else? I actually literally just got out of a meeting with some people we have organizing some things because I can't give too many details yet. With John and company,
Secrets are
and
rude,
yeah,
first of
man,
all.
I don't know how much of it we can really talk about yet, but I promise as soon as I think if it were more concrete, then I would be more willing to talk to people about it to kind of generate the hype. But at this point, I can't say that that's the case currently. It is like 90% chance of being concrete, but it's 100. I can't.
Yeah.
But as soon as I do, I promise everyone here will hear it, especially on Painting Platinum.
That's right. We like to tell secrets on Painting Platinum.
Yes, we do. That's part of the allure.
Juicy secrets.
The juiciest of secrets.
Tell secrets, ask questions later. That's what I say. Hi, Frumpy Glass. Hi, Spoons. You welcome back. So announcements on on Reaper Live tonight. Announcements and excitement and such. And I don't know for sure, but I feel like Ron got his new dog by now. I don't know.
Maybe
I
he didn't send me pictures. If that's the case,
I feel like he had said that it was. I don't know. You never know. Anyway,
yeah.
so that's I don't believe anything I hear on Twitch unless it comes from Painting Platinum. Thank you. I don't like to speak in absolutes unless I absolutely know it. So you'll hear me say a lot of I believe or is that whatever, Google that. You know, I like
Well,
to.
everyone should always entertain the idea that no matter how sure they are, they're actually just wrong. But that's scientific.
Hi, Skelsey. Um, I worked at a bank and I say I believe a lot. I believe whatever, whatever. And they were like, you can't really be saying that. You have to like act like you know. I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. I'm like, what if I'm wrong? And they're like, well, they'll figure it out later and I guess they'll call back.
Uh,
Yep. Banks are evil. But they did have this really cool special way of talking to people that was like, I picked up this expression. It's called, they called it, it doesn't matter because I don't want to give away too much, but it's if you'd be willing or would you be willing. So instead of telling somebody, what you're going to have to do is this, this, and this. Like, instead of telling somebody, you have to email help@reapermini.com, I would be like, if you would be willing to email help@reapermini.com, they would get that whatever for you.
oh,
A lot of people don't like it, but I like it. I like to think it influences my management um, style, which is basically like, please let me keep being polite. Like, I don't ever want to get ugly and mean. What's ATC? Something. Hi, Chewy Boots. Yeah, I try to be in the know, Peter Rooster. I'm pretty nosy. Oh, air traffic
oh,
control.
yeah. That's a hey. I think this plane is going here.
Oh my goodness, that makes me think of
You really gotta know.
Breaking Bad.
Oh, it does. Yeah,
Dark.
that is really dark. Wow.
Sorry. That was a good little. I don't know. Do you think that was a good little storyline part of it, or do you think it was kind of?
I think that when it all came together, a lot of people argue that that entire episode basically was the exact moment that Walter broke bad. That basically that was the big turning point. It was huge. Actually, I think that episode was well written, and there was a lot of nuances in it that you can kind of assume some things, right? But
Yeah.
that there's also other times where people say that it was a culmination of a lot of little decisions that he made, but that was a really big decision that made like I don't know, it was a pretty big impact. You can tie everything into that decision. That moment when he's standing there, right, and he has to decide between person A and person B, and person B dies, right, because he does not act.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the moment.
Yeah. And you know what though? Possibly unpopular opinion. I never disliked Walter.
Wow, really? Even when he was
No.
kind of becoming awful.
Nope. Um. There was like the moment with the kid. I mean, I don't. I say I don't want to spoil it. It's really old, but oh, and my honey's in here. But I spoiled it for my honey. Like, I rewatched it. He didn't want to rewatch it with me. Like, we started to rewatch it, and he's like, I don't want to watch this. And then I spoiled like the very last episode, which somebody did to me, and pissed him off.
But I think that in this circumstance, because of the way the show is written, I think the last episode is even seasons before is such an inevitability. There's not a whole lot that you can expect would be different about it. Like anything other than what happened is complete and utter fantasy fairy tale.
I lied to myself about what happened in the end. We're talking about Breaking Bad, Sharky. Yeah, and don't paint with honey unless you're trying to make like an ant
Oh
monument.
gosh, that
Yeah.
makes my spine shiver thinking about it.
But yeah, like I kind of wanted to believe maybe something different happened in the end. And then I watched El Camino and it like, El Camino was like the little Netflix movie that came out. I guess it wasn't just Netflix because when we went and saw Star Wars, it was it was like on a poster, like it was showing in the theaters. But I think it came out on
Mhm.
Netflix at the same time, which I guess is part of how things happen now. So weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't actually seen. I've seen the thing on Netflix about El Camino, but I hadn't actually watched it. So is it worth watching?
Oh, I loved it. But I loved Jesse and the relationship between Jesse and Walter. Liked Walter the whole time. Yeah, I liked it.
I'm not surprised you like Jesse. That does not shock me.
Yeah, that's my taste,
It really is. It
isn't it?
really is. I think we've had this conversation before, actually.
Yeah. I am working on, yeah, I should say this again. I'm working on Hajad Pirate or Hajad. I'm not sure. Um, who sculpted him? Actually, don't know who sculpted him. Do you have like, can you Google it? Or not Google it? Can you look it up on our website? Who sculpted Hajad Pirate?
Let's see.
Oops, oops, oops.
Looks like first off, this is from Bones One, and it looks like it was Julie Guthrie.
Oh, I like that. So we've got that one guy. I can't remember his name. I should. Um, Again, Ron likes everybody, but the guy you said Ron really likes, what's his name? Schubert? Derek Schubert?
Yeah, Ron likes Derek Schubert.
Okay, so we have one by Derek Schubert. Who sculpted the Anirion?
The elf.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. I assume you mean the Bones version, although I think it's the exact.
Oh, it'll be the exact. Hi, the
Uh,
Kalasanda.
Bobby Jackson.
Bobby Jackson. He's so popular. Fraga says Schubert is my favorite sculptor. His style is so unique. I'm painting one of his right now. Roderick Ambermead. I don't know Roderick Ambermead. He must have came after I was already done in internet. Um, Pewter Rooster. This is like it's parchment paper, so it's not the actual wet palette paper. And it's in one of those boxes where you just pull it up and it's already pre-cut. I just have to trim it down a little. So it's got squares where you can cut exactly the size you want. I really like it. I don't like that it has writing on it because it feels like an advertisement. But yeah, parchment pop-ups. But I try to get it where the writing is not like right in the middle, like sponsored by whoever. Not that I mind that, I have a problem with this company, but anyway. But yeah, I got that when I was baking, and I was like, you know what? I should take those to Reaper because it seemed like I was always like, Justin, where's the parchment paper? And it wasn't always where it needed to be, and this just better. Just better. Hi, Valander the Red. Hi on the road to Tiamat. Albevazen. Howdy. He's a halfling riding a dragon. I like that. Hi, Rings Raccoon. I like to play Skyrim. Like, I haven't played in a really long time, but it's one of my favorite games to just like chill and play. And I always hated that it's, except for like one part, you can't really be friends with the dragons. Like, you have to kill them. I always wished there would be like a way that you didn't have to kill dragons, that you could be family with them. There's a little storyline in that game that if you don't kill the dragon, there's like this chill dragon. Again, like spoilers, but whatever. I mean, it's Skyrim, so whatever. But if you don't kill this dragon, like you can't go any further in this particular like little group. And I was like, oh, that sucks because I'm such a completionist. But I was like, I can't kill this cool dragon. Oh, it's Margaret. So not officially, but like unofficially, our manual machine's name is Tiamat. Her name's Maldrakar for real, though. I maybe one says, Sadie, there's a mod for that. Look at that. Literally never killed that dragon. So never got any further than that. I like to play on PC because you can mod it. When you play on PS3 and PS4, I don't think you can, other than like their own mods and the Monk's Hold. I can't remember. Hi, Scott Beale. But yeah, I didn't want to kill him. And then even sometimes, this is actually kind of lame, but like most of what I like about Skyrim is like picking flowers and making potions and thieving. So sometimes I won't even start the main quest. Yes, Leader of the Greybeards. And I'll just like not have to fight the dragons. For yeah, if you don't go fight that first dragon, the dragons don't attack you. Kind of lame, but yeah. Yeah, Rings Raccoon, that's what I'm afraid of, is like stability with mods. Though on my computer I modded it, like I modified just like so much that, I mean, I'm sure there's a way to get rid of it, but I really don't know like what the normal like body types and everything look like anymore. Because I'm into like beauty and whatever, mostly I modify my characters to look like Kim Kardashian kind of in the body. Maybe not Kim Kardashian, but insert favorite whoever here. Kim Kardashian, that might be a little different than what I go for. But who's got the real balanced figure? I'm trying to think. Who do you gentlemen like these days? Well, Justin, you don't know because you got a different. Not that everybody doesn't have different tastes, but Justin has different taste. Justin likes Bella the Succubus. Nothing wrong with it.
Very much so.
Selma Hayek. There we go. Selma Hayek. Sofia Vergara. There we go. Gentlemen.
Oh, no, not those. Although there's nothing wrong with that taste. Not quite.
I don't know if I talked about this, but I'm rewatching Seinfeld, and I recently got through the ones where Jerry and George. There's this like writer that's kind of spying on Jerry at the diner. So George and Jerry pretend to be a couple, and then like chaos ensues. She writes about it, and everybody thinks they're together, and it's all like, not that there's anything wrong with that. And then George is dating a girl that he wants to break up with, so he tells his girlfriend that him and Jerry are a couple. So then Jerry starts kind of seeing the writer after he's like already cleared it up, and then George goes up there and acts like Jerry's cheating on him. Anyway, chaos ensues. Hi, Fraley.
Naturally.
It's so funny how like That's a very polarizing show. Curb Your Enthusiasm and Seinfeld really like splits people so much. Okay. So I did the skin again. Oop. It'll be interesting to see what we're gonna highlight him with. So like I did, you know, I don't remember her name anymore, but the Sophie that's like the urban legend Sophie that's like I can only think of like the not words I can say to describe her, but she's like got a gravestone in there and she's like on all fours. You know what I'm talking about? Urban legends
Mm,
on all fours Sophie.
I mean, I've seen a lot of them, but I don't remember the one you're referring to.
It's the one with the um you know.
I don't know, actually. I
Oh.
genuinely don't know.
Anyway, but I painted her one time ebony flesh and it just made her look like a chocolate bunny. And I told Anne that. I was like, I don't like it. Like it was my first time painting a nude and Playful Sophie. That's a great one, McKnight. Oh, thanks, Samurai Jack. Oh, yeah, I forgot. So we're giving away Sophie Silver and we're giving away Poke Tools. So I'll swatch the Sophie Silver for you guys and I'll swatch the Graz Yeti actually sent us this. Okay, so we had this sample that everybody really loved and everybody wanted it. Not everybody, but you know, whatever. I can't swatch the Poke Tools i5 paints because I don't have a Poke Tool on me. I left it in my little mixing area. But I'll swatch the Sophie Silver and then I'll swatch that blue I made where that Graz Yeti sent in. It was a sample that I didn't save one of. I was just missed that one. So Graz Yeti, we might call it, I think it was Ice Yeti Blue. I think I'm going to call it that. I think I can because, I mean, I think I do whatever I want. I think I'm the leader. So, paint leader. But anyway, I will swatch that. It's almost exactly the same as the sample was. No, Val Under the Red. Okay, so there's a pale tan. There's a pale tan that's an oops. It's the only oops that we've had recently. And basically it's a real color. I just don't know what it is. It might be just a little bit off. So anyway, if you got a pale tan, I think it's like close to Pale Skin Shadow 47 or 46. I can't remember. It's like close to though. It got mislabeled. So we just sampled it. Sorry. Okay. But anyway, I made her look like a chocolate bunny and I was talking to Anne, this is a long time ago, and she was telling me that ebony flesh and I think ruddy flesh or ruddy skin in Bones was a good highlight for it. And it had like a little bit of warm, but not enough that it would go ashy because ebony flesh is really balanced. So it's got a little blue in there. It's got a little like reddish color in there. Like it's really balanced. So if you're not careful, adding something yellow to it will go just really ashy. So it's got to be exactly right. Ooh, she said too, you can use the Mwangi flesh to go with it. Mwangi? I hope that's not a real word that people know how to pronounce. Even though usually when there's a real word that people know how to pronounce, it's pronounced differently by different people. Like, you know, the fantasy ones. Pathfinder paint, yeah.
By the way, maybe you'll have to message me the link because it doesn't even let me see what it is before it deletes it. Unfortunately.
What, the link?
Yeah, I maybe one had a link for you.
Oh. The Parthenox dilemma. Yeah. I like that. Thank you, I may be one. Maybe I need to start playing Skyrim again to like relax a little bit. That's my relaxing game. It's hard for me to play it for very long before I fall asleep. Okay,
Really?
seriously, I can't play video games for very long beyond I can play N64 and I can play like Super Nintendo, but I can't play anything newer than that. It either like it usually puts me to sleep. Beyond like when I was in instructor cosmetology school, I was so stressed out. I stayed home one day and played Skyrim all day. But beyond that, I'm not usually able to play video games for very long. It's like it's too, I don't know. Maybe it's like too good, like too immersive. I don't know. But I'm not a big video gamer. I like the old games and they don't have to be pretty, but most of what I play has to be pretty. My boyfriend wants me to start playing Minecraft with him. And he plays RuneScape, and I started looking at it and I was like, I see why you like this. This looks like RuneScape. You play RuneScape, right, Justin?
I did there for a while back when we talked about it, but I haven't played since then.
Chewy Boots says if I start a game at night, I'm going one more level until daylight. So I do that thing where like I'm thinking, what really am I going to accomplish before I have to go to sleep? So that's usually what makes me not want to start a game or a project or whatever, because I will really go for it on stuff. All right, so Brilliant Red is the color of his, I was going to say, yeah, it is good. Sash and armbands are Brilliant Red. So I'm going to go in and do that. I redid his skin, and he has liner, the ebony flesh and water used as lining. But I'm going to go do that later because I have a feeling I'm going to have to like redo it if I do it right now. So I'm going to choose to skip that. But one thing I've been trying to do is follow the instructions, like, so I don't lose my place, because I usually lose my place. Thanks, Scott Beal. I cut my own hair. It's really, sorry. I think I got my hair in my nose. I'm itchy. I think it's really uneven, so I'm going to have somebody straighten it for me. But yeah, it's like a long bob, but this is shorter because that's the hardest part of your hair to grow out, especially if you bleach your hair or straighten your hair or whatever. But yeah, I cut it. It's a long bob, and I can like get a brush through my hair now pretty easily. So for everybody that paints, I'm sure all of you paint. Thanks, Rings Raccoon. How much do you guys thin your paint? Like, what's your ratio? I think I watched Josh, and I think he said he only does up to 3, like 3 drops water, 1 drop paint, or whatever. He doesn't get too much into like, I'm messing this up, but I feel like Josh said he was like, I'll never do like 7 drops this to 5 drops this or whatever. I think he said he only goes up to 5. Ooh, Maladrock, 1 blob of water to a splash of paint. Josh is darn close to watercolors. See, I want to get to that level. I want to be able to thin paint and do a good job. Thanks, Samurai Jack. I got these glasses at the druggist. They were what's it called? Like Foster Grants or whatever. I'm not gonna take them off because they're tight. But then I went to the dollar store yesterday and they had dollar reading glasses. And I was like, man, I was messing up because I spent like not crazy amount, but like a good amount on this. Depends on what I'm doing. Use the wet palette so paint is auto thinned. Yeah, I think that's why Anne uses the well palette, but I don't like using the well palette because I feel like it dries out so fast. Like, I don't know the trick to that. I don't understand that. Did a couple blobs. I'm like trying to achieve this perfect balance in my little setup where I can see what I'm doing with these strong readers on from like far away. I've turned the chat size up to like 80-year-old. Like I think it said
You need a monitor.
Hmm?
Do you need a monitor?
No, I've got two monitors.
Like a big one, like almost like a projector to put on the wall.
I don't think I still don't think I'd be able to see it.
In like font 72.
Yeah, exactly. I think I could maybe. I need it like the E at the eye doctor. Found some palette paper is designed for heavy body acrylics and lets more water through, so I use parchment paper. I've read that. I've read that a lot of people don't like the way um the way the palette paper wet palette paper is, that they prefer parchment. I've never used the actual palette paper. Base coats, the paint beads whenever I add water, so I only thin for additional coats. Yeah, that's what I'm finding. Not much, maybe 1-to-1. Pewter Rooster uses the Dollar Tree reading glasses. Oh my gosh, I love Dollar Tree. Yeah, this is kind of beading, so I'm probably gonna make a like non-dilute little doot there. I use the backing paper from address label stickers. That is a good tip. That is like, oh, I don't know what word I'm looking for, like obscure. That's almost like hipster level. I've never heard that before. That's a hot tip.
That is a hot tip. By the way, Sadie, do I sound any better than I did?
When?
When? What do you mean when?
When did you sound bad?
Dave texted me and told me that
Oh,
I had to sound better or he was going to fire me.
we can't do that. I'd be doing your job.
No, I'm kidding. He didn't actually say that.
I don't
but
think I'd be doing your job either. I'd like to think I would. I think John Overton or Michael Collins are the next best at this. Though I can figure it out with the best of them.
I mean, yeah, there's plenty of people that can probably do what I do. I think at this point, it's just a matter of
I
how
don't
well.
really think that.
I mean, anyone can do what I do. It just takes time, effort, and experience. I mean, the main difference I have on the people you named and yourself is I've got about 6 years of experience on you.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of knowledge that just you would have to be learning either from scratch or through teaching yourself.
Yeah. I don't really know that much about most things. I can figure it out though.
Oh yeah, that's to say at this day and age, most of the knowledge is acquirable. There's just a lot of pitfalls within the business. I feel like, say the tech world that
Yeah.
you're gonna have to learn all of them by falling on those spikes over and over until you finally get them all figured out. Because unfortunately, in the tech world, you can do a lot of pre research stuff, but like most of the time, trial and error is one of the better ways to figure it out. So.
Some dude on YouTube will explain it all. Madrock says that is true.
But much like Ron had said recently, and I liked it. He said that you can watch your favorite painter that's incredibly good and have them instruct you personally, but it's unlikely that upon doing that you're going to be able to paint just like them.
It depends on your learning style.
Correct. Learning style and practice is still really important.
Yes. So I talked about this. I've been talking about this forever, but I'm doing a personal stream, myself and my honey, where I teach him what I've learned from this kit, and we paint almost exactly the same miniatures, like the same types of miniatures, with the same color paints. And I've been thinking about it, like actually how we're going to do it. And I've realized I'm like, I don't really know for sure what his learning style is. So I'm going to have to really plan to be able to have all the instructions. Because at first I was like, well, I won't have any instructions for him. That'll be part of the fun. He'll have to just watch me. And then I was like, I don't think that's going to work. Like I'm going to have to lay it out a few different ways. But it's going to be really fun for me because I like the science of They call it facilitating learning, teaching. I like teaching. And I'm not very good at this, but I had a guitar teacher tell me when I was a teenager that teaching people is the best way to learn, like to get better. You get a lot better from teaching people. bcocanour says, I think each paint is a little different, so thinning changes depending on the paint. That is true. Thanks, JT Rocking. Yes, that actually is true.
By the way, that's Bryce Coconauer. That is one of the instructors at Reaper.
What?
That is
Hi, Bryce. Huh?
Super cool dude.
I like that. Anne says a lot about painting that Anne says that a lot about painting, that teaching is a great way to get better yourself. That's true. Can't beat the yeet. Justin loves that.
Oh boy.
You know what else? My guitar teacher said that Anne really liked was my guitar teacher used to tell me, he's like, you don't think you're getting better because it's almost like you got this new little puppy. You got this little puppy and you see it every day. So you don't really think that the puppy's getting any bigger. But when your friend comes over that hasn't been over in like a couple weeks, they're like, man, your puppy's getting really big. So, which Anne would like because it's puppies and art. But that basically you don't see yourself getting better at art in the same way that other people do because you see it all the time. I will say something that really elevated me was I'm working on that New Year's Sophie because I'm, what sounds dodgy, JT Rocking? I'm working on the New Year's Sophie because I'm playing with hair colors. Trying to think of like a exclusive painting platinum color other than Justin Salmon Pants, which I'm pretty sold on. Also because somebody wanted a salmon. Somebody was like, oh, your puppy is getting really big. Somebody wanted a salmon and I was like, Justin Salmon Pants. That's such like a unique little, I don't know. Whatever. Little thing. Inside joke. Inside joke become outside joke.
Ye old salmon pants.
Ye old salmon pants. That you don't know where they are.
That is true. I have not seen those pants in quite a while.
The wife might have thrown them out. She might have gotten mad one day and been like, I don't want to be team salmon pants.
No, she doesn't actually throw away any of my clothes. She'll tell me when I wear something, if it has to go in the trash, she'll go, hey, that gets thrown away. And then I throw it away. Typically, though, I'm going to go ahead and be honest here. 9 times out of 10, that's in reference to underwear.
Yeah. You're not the only one.
Yeah, I have apparently males have a penchant for really messed up, holy, crappy underwear. Not literally crappy, although in some cases, I guess, where they just don't throw underwear and buy new ones. They just keep the old ones until they're literally just tatters. Just a couple of strips of cloth and a little bit of spandex at the top, and that's it. And like, then they'll stand behind them too. They'll say, "These underwear are perfectly fine. What do you mean I need to throw them away?" It's like they're not covering anything anymore.
Especially if they're cute. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if you wear cute underwear.
I mean, I wear boxer briefs pretty exclusively in various colors. Typically Fruit of the Loom.
Pastels? Do you do the pastels?
Yeah. I would wear pastel.
Underwear. I never got over the, like, when was it? 2005, 2006, where men wore a lot of pink. I really like that. I don't know if pink's your color, though.
I don't know if I have the skin color for that. I think salmon works because of, what it is. But outside of that, I don't think. I've never been a fan of pink. But I like garish colors. And as far as underwear goes, I really don't have a preference.
I wonder if you're a spring, Justin.
What do you mean?
Your color palette, your coloring, because
Oh, yeah, maybe.
you're blonde. God only knows what color blonde at this point, but you're not. I don't think you're ashy blonde, and your eyes aren't like my eyes are gray blue, but your eyes are like green blue, bright blue.
Yeah, mine are like an aqua.
Yeah, and I think
I've
that's a
been told
spring.
they're dreamy.
They're what?
So I've been told they're dreamy.
Oh,
Because I've
who
never
told you
actually seen
that?
them outside of Pugh,
Scotty?
so. Yes, Scotty was the first
Gus?
person ever. Gus, actually, Gus did frequently talk about my eyes.
I never noticed them until you were fixing
joking.
something like really close to me, and I was like, "Oh, you got blue eyes."
Yeah, no, it's it happens. I mean, oftentimes people don't notice until I wear contacts. My glasses tend to distract, apparently.
Guys rarely wear cute underwear, and those that do don't advertise that behavior. We need to bring back sagging. Said very few people ever. Very careful with a small brush. GG rocking. How does one paint fluorescent veins? Did not get a notification. Hi, Sadie. You know what I've been getting notifications for is Anne's show. I got notification for Proctor's show. I don't think I've ever gotten like a pop-up notification for Miniature Monday or for my show. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I've done some research. It's very weird. They say that one of the better ways to make the system work is to not unfollow, but turn off notifications for other streamers that you don't necessarily want to know exactly when they go live, but and then you re-enable it for the channel that you want to. You kind of prioritize it, right?
I see.
You keep
I
the number
gotcha.
small. I've been told that helps, but outside of that, I mean, Twitch doesn't have a whole lot of great great explanations as to why.
The algorithm.
The old algorithm, there it is.
Justin, are you going to show that video that I found of you shooting your bow? Because you totally should.
You did send it to me, but I had no plans to show it.
Oh my God. It was so good. It's some of my best cinematography. And
I mean,
I was looking.
I can't stop you if you're going to show videos on your side there. I cannot stop you.
Here I was bragging that I'm going to do your job, and I don't even know how I would do that. It is on Facebook, Planar Crossroads, but it's hard to find. It was like, I looked in my photos, and I was like, I know it's here. And I finally had to like search videos I've posted. I felt like such an old person. I was like, does Facebook even have this feature? But they do. And I was able to find my videos I had posted, but it was really hard to find. But then I was going back through old pictures and I saw the whole gang. Yeah, Planar Crossroads, but you're going to scroll through a lot of cringe. And I apologize for that. All of it. Anyway, I found like the whole gang. I found like the picture of Victor using the bow where he got
He messed up
hurt.
his arm.
I didn't have a picture of Victor getting hurt. And then John Overton, like, I think he had just gotten his little wings on his legs. Like, a la Hermes. Is Hermes the one?
The Detroit Red Wings?
That's not what he thinks it is it?
No, it's not, but we've given him crap for it since he got them way back when.
I like them because they're like the messenger god, and from what I've heard, wouldn't be painting platinum if we didn't go spooky. From what I've heard, in a lot of I don't know, theologies, mythologies, the messenger god is the one that's in charge of magic, because like in the Greek god pantheon, that the messenger god would go between like the gods and the people, and Yeah, Hermes, the Calyssandra. And that was kind of in charge of magic and was kind of like a trickster god. So that's how things would end up being kind of messed up and, chaos ensues. Hermes, I don't know. I like mythology, stuff like that. Stories, it's romantic. But, so I've always really liked it. Paint's not too wet. If it's not flowing, then use a Reaper Flow Improver. If you're in a humid climate, don't use the wet palette. Paint thin lines, then wash over them with thin layers of skin color. Oh yeah, it's like I think Anne says how you do tattoos is you glaze back over it. So Planar Crossroads, the prize today is Sophie Silver and a pokey tool. So I'm going to swatch Sophie Silver. We'll take like a little paint break and I'll show you guys kind of what I've got going. First, Sophie Silver.
By the way, just for a little OBS lesson for you, Sadie,
Sure.
since I feel like it's a teaching opportunity. If you ever want to show like a video or something that you don't otherwise have the digital download for, like doesn't exist on your hard drive, you can one, you can download it, or two, you can do a browser capture or a window capture through OBS, and then literally just show them. So people will often, for instance, browse Twitter while on stream, and that's how you would show that. Now, in this case, if you were going to show your thanks AMP services, you would need to show your Twitch, your Facebook page, and make sure that there's nothing explicit.
Can you screen grab a video?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, party of AMP services. I was just about to look up, but I'm going to have you do it, Justin, if you would. I was just about to look up what number Sophie Silver is, because the Sophie Silver I have here doesn't have a label on it. Thank you, AMP services. We love you. It's going really well, I think. Yeah, you can hashtag free. For every 5 subs we get, we're giving away a bottle of Sophie Silver and a pokey tool. So when you put it on first, you're like, okay, what do we got here? This is my favorite brush. I think I said it was wrong. I think I said it wrong when I was talking about it, but it's the Pro Paint Brush 2. And it's pretty long and big, so it holds a lot of paint, and it doesn't get in the ferrule for a rule. 9652. Thank you, McKnight. I think we're giving away one so far. But yeah, it dries really, really pretty. I'd like to compare it to the Pearl White. I've just never done that before. And I like to compare things to each other. That's one of my favorite things about the paint, because I didn't make them. So there's still like discoveries to be made. This is Sophie Champagne. I can't get it off of here. Or I probably could, but I have not yet.
We are 4 subs away from a second set being given away, by the way.
So time to get the 5-aught brush out. Yeah, probably. Toothpick. Oh, my favorite weird thing people do. Cat whisker. We've talked about that before. Thanks to Calyssandra. Thanks Sci-Fi Paints. So we're going to kind of let that dry. And then, so it's hard to see. It's like very white, but it's real pretty and silvery. So then I'm going to talk about, and I wish Cross Yeti were here to see it. I don't know. The guy that was looking for it to begin with used it on like wraiths. Are wraiths a specific thing, or is that something we have? Anyway, whatever. The hooded, like ghosty kind of guys. That's 2 away from 2 giveaways, Planar Crossroads. Anyway, it worked really well. So I was like trying to figure out what it was. Graz Yeti had like posted a picture that it was like between Copper Verdigris and something glow. I can't remember, but wraiths are a folklore thing. Good, so I didn't mess up. So anyway, spectral glow. Thank you, J 1121. Thanks, Planar Crossroads. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Planar.
So we're just above 2. We're giving away 2 of these. Okay, so anyway, this is the sample. Graz Yeti had 2 and he sent it in. But that's the sample. And I'm going to like swatch it with my new guy because I got really, really like almost identical close. And I really do like this color. I'd like to make this a thing where I can show you guys like what I'm playing with right now. I try not to take too much time with it. Okay, so like very similar. It's not as bright. It's not as like, it's a little bit more that's okay, Planar Crossroads. I don't enter any of the giveaways either. It's a little bit more like white. What's the word? Like tinted. I think tinted is what I'm looking for.
Pigmented?
It's not even that. It's just a little more. You can make something more shaded or tinted, but it's hard to make something brighter. It's more saturated. The original's more saturated, but just only ever so slightly. I don't know where my pokey is. I'm gonna have to do something weird. This is my tech I do. Probably not my tech. Probably something people have done 1,000 million times. But I'm gonna call it my tech. Okay, so yeah, that is true. Planar Crossroads. I do like officially work for Reaper. Oh my gosh, you're so right, Samurai Jack. My word finding ability has really gone downhill, and I think it's I've like talked to my doctor about it, and he's like, I think it's your anxiety and like your brain is onto so many things. I usually do actually think of stuff later, but I'm embarrassed about it. It sucks. But obviously, like, I don't know. I probably have genetics for dementia, so every now and again I get real freaked out, but I'm not freaked out about it right now. Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about it. It makes it worse. So I did this thing, speaking of clothes and throwing stuff out. I did this like thing where I washed all my clothes. Do you ever do this? You probably don't, Justin, because you're not like single and like living alone single. So I washed all my clothes and I didn't feel like putting them away. Like I might have been a little depressed. Got some weird stuff going on. But so I laid out a comforter. Like the rest of my room was clean. It was all like vacuumed and put away. But I laid out this comforter and I just dumped all my clothes on it. And then last night I did a like laid stuff on my bed and I like folded everything up and I was able to make like, it was almost like a bar graph of like what's fully got paint on it, what's kind of got paint on it, what's decent nice, what's church nice. Like, you know, like I made like almost a bar graph of that. And I have so many clothes that are like ruined with paint, but I know I'm going to ruin clothes with paint. So I have to wear the ruined with paint. Yeah, exactly. But Planar Crossroads, it showed me where I need to go shopping, which is casual, not covered in paint. I've got a really good amount of covered in paint. I've got a decent amount of has a few paint spots on it, which this does. I just got a little bit more on it. And then not very much casual doesn't have paint on it. Okay, so anyway.
To answer your question, no, I've never done that. I also don't really own a whole lot of clothes at any one time. Like I just don't very, very my wardrobe is lackluster.
Yeah,
It's
mine
not.
too.
I don't own that many nice clothes. I've got like one set. I just kind of like I tell people when I put clothes on. Typically, it's just to be socially acceptable. So I'm covering up all the expected parts to be covered up. But outside of that, matching, not something I do often or care about. That kind of stuff. I put clothes on because it's socially what is expected.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I used to really like vintage clothes. I guess I still do, but I don't know. I need to refine myself. I need to get back into the things that interest me, which is vintage clothing and dresses. I used to wear a lot of dresses. This is going to be the summer of dresses, Justin. We're going to make sundresses a thing for us, for me, not, you know. 5 dresses, 4 tops, 3 pullovers, 2 jeans, and a pair of jogging pants, says Plainer Crossroads. I love capsule wardrobes. That's one of my favorite things ever because it's like anal and minimalist and efficient. Best time for a sundress is all the time. You know, the best thing about a sundress, True Boots, is you don't have to match it with anything except your shoes. It's my favorite.
I was look at that. Margaret wants. Although I keep calling her Margaret. Tiamat, maybe. What do you
That's
prefer to
Margaret.
be called?
Well, yeah.
Margaret. They said I should be wearing a salmon sundress.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how you look in salmon because, like, also I think this is a thing. I think like the further away something is from like your face, the less it matters if it suits you, your like season or whatever. Okay, so that is pretty different. So I'm gonna keep working on it. But anyway, that's the Sophie Silver. But this is the work in progress reversed engineer Ice Yeti blue, we're gonna call it. Yeah, Dark Angel YYC says that is true. I love to wear all black, but I don't think I look good in all black. That's why the Scottish invented kilts. That does make sense, Samurai Jack. I think you're probably kidding, but that makes a lot of sense. Why does it censor things with stars?
That's because I don't think it's visible to people until it's not visible.
You don't think what?
Like I think they put stars in the place of the word, and then if you approve it, then it becomes visible again.
Can you approve it? What is it?
Well, in that case, it was utilikilt, and that's I guess because there's the word "kill" in it, it's kind of silly. But
like
fun fact about kilts, I actually have worn a kilt. I thought I told you guys about this. I've worn a kilt before.
For a wedding?
My uncle got married in a kilt, and as his best man, I wore one, and it was a real kilt. It was pretty heavy and crazy, and I think my uncle actually owns a utilikilt himself. I don't think I would ever wear one, but
Okay, so this is something else I got going. It's like a really sickly, like a sea green color. And I think I'm just now getting into what I would want to use colors for. I'm not very good at that. But for this, like speaking of Skyrim, I would want to use this for like terrain on like little fungi, like mushrooms or glowy foliage. I don't know if it's foliage, but yeah. Thanks, Margaret. Yeah, that's my sea green color I made on the way to these. I really like it, and there's nothing else close to it. The closest would be mint green. So it's not an anything anymore. Right now it's a prototype. It's a sea glow prototype. But yeah. Maybe one day. Yeah. So maybe this isn't a good idea to show stuff I'm playing with, but I think sea glow would be a really good brine wind color too. What you have to be careful of is that something that Ron and I were talking about is when I showed Ron my like swatch ideas, I didn't make them, but I like pulled like I made them in a phone app, like what I would want. They ended up being like really pretty and pastel colors. So we have to have a good balance of like what people want, and people like bright because, like I said before, you can mute something, you can't brighten something necessarily. So, but I would like that. I might fight for that. I like it a lot. And I've thought of a use for it, which is, but this is the first time that I've thought of a use for a color. But yeah, that's Sophie Silver. It's dry now. Really pretty color. And yeah, so that's the blue we're trying to get to. We're almost there. But yeah, a use for it. Brine Wind, Dark Depths. See, and Planar Crossroads will never do triads again, from what I've heard. From what I've heard, to make a triad would be pretty much impossible at this point, because we might think of a color we don't already have, but putting it into a triad, somehow it would overlap. Unless it was one of those triads, like there's a few triads that are different color. Like I think the copper triad has like the green and then the dark, the highlight. Yeah. Okay, that's good, i5 paints, because I was thinking like if I did a sea color, what are you, like, I don't know that many minis that have water on them. But yeah, an old favorites triad. But anyway, yeah, those are what I'm playing with. So we're going to go to 415, right, Justin?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, good. So I'm going to start painting again.
You can thank Ed and Ron for that, since they sent me their pictures and stuff way early.
Yeah. Ed and Ron sent pictures early. Tarnished copper. Yeah. A collection of 10 or so. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? I'm with you, Planar Crossroads. I might go rogue. Let's go right up to reaperlive. Justin won't let me do that. Plus, I've got to do stuff.
That would cause me unbelievable stress if we did that.
And I really don't like to stress Justin out. There have been times where I'm like, we could do like do something a little different. And then I'm like, but honestly, like, just. Now, I will say that's not to say you shouldn't. If you have ideas, please, like, tell me. Like, I have no problem with that. I really, at the end of the day, stress is what makes diamonds. Let's be honest. That's true.
Pressure, but so, like, I have no problem with it. And I think that
I'm never going to give you notes on a day. Sorry to interrupt you. But the day that Reaper Live was like 45 minutes late because of the issues that weren't your fault, I'm never going to give you notes on a day like that. I'm just really happy that I get to do this. I really enjoy doing this, so I don't want to make waves. Somebody said make platinum longer.
Oh no, image of betrayal. I'm more like I'm like the coal dust that hasn't even made one like solid nugget yet to then become a diamond. I'm somewhere in that phase. And I remain that way until I've learned everything there is to learn, which is probably forever.
So Samurai Jack said there used to be a sea blues triad. I wonder if Clouded Sea is a part of that. And Clouded Sea, it's already been announced. I'm like almost certain is going to be one of the colors that we do this year. Clouded Sea, yeah, I know it. Clouded Sea, Powder Burn Brown, and Pirate Gold. But yeah, so I'm excited. But then the other thing we run up against is like, we don't have space for all these colors. So we would either have to, this is a bad word, but we would either have to cancel colors or we've got to stop making new colors. And I don't like canceling colors. It hurts my little completionist heart. Yeah, Margaret, we could have we could just have our own campus. A part of the Reaper compound. We could just make the old warehouse into Reaper paint. I don't think we're prepared for that. I don't know that that makes sense numbers wise. Ron does not need an office. Why not go into different types of paint, like effects paint, basing paint, things like that? So that's what Collins recommended. Collins was like, you need to learn about basing materials, things like that. For now, there's so much stuff that's like off in the future. Right now, I couldn't do it right now, but there's like a couple things I'm experimenting with and playing with that are new and exciting. But yeah, I'd love to do that. Honestly, any of that. Okay, that's what Ed always says. He was like, if we make all these new colors, then it'll be like we didn't even discontinue HD. What are we building a new building for then? Hi, Mike Disney. Chew boots, I can't tell you. I really can't tell you. I would, though. I was thinking about you, Mike Disney, because I have this shirt that says Detroit hustles harder, and I was going to wear it. And I was like, that makes me think of Mike Disney, our Detroit artist. I don't know if you're our only Detroit artist, but yeah. Justin, what are we making the new building for, if not to have our own paint building? You're awesome.
Yeah, I've been told that it's completely dedicated to nothing but paint. I don't know if that's a reliable source, but
20 miles south. Yeah. Oh, Ed said it's okay if I DM Chewy Boots. Yeah, my honey goes to this glass event every year it's usually in July, and it's called the Michigan Art Glass Initiative, and it supports Art Road Detroit, which is a charity to put art classes into like schools, like little kids art classes, and they post pictures of it. And my boyfriend's like fallen in love with Detroit. Like, it's one of the places that he would like to move, but it's cold, and I can't handle cold. I am a Texas girl. I love the heat. Seriously though, I'm running out of space for new colors of Reaper paint. Yeah, that's what happens. Okay, so let's do this vest. 4 parts bleach linen, 1 part ebony flesh. Bleach linen. I need to get some of these little like prototypes and samples and doodles out of here. I got a mess. My part of Michigan barely had snow this year. I loved Chicago too, and that's like right across the lake from you guys, right? Depending on where you are. I love Chicago. I love it. It's just a different vibe. I don't know how to describe it other than I was like, this feels cleaner. Like, it's a clean city, kind of like Dallas. Maybe I mean clean lines. I don't know what I mean by it. Yeah, across the state and the lake. We visited family up there when I was a kid, and I remember it being like, we have to, yeah, Chicago's not clean, but it's like I don't know what it is. But anyway, we had to go like around to get to Michigan. Yeah. Let's see. 4 parts bleach linen, 1 part ebony flesh. I didn't count that well. I've never been to NYC. I need to go. I have a friend there that was like, you could always come stay. So, I need to. Yeah, they say Chicago is dangerous. I mean, like, I know every big city is dangerous. Dallas had a really bad murder year last year. Planer Crossroads, it's at 6. Next show's at 6. Reaper Live. But yeah. I've never been to New York. I don't know if anybody else has this, but I have this, I never knew what it was until Reddit, but I have megalophobia. So when I look at something really big, I start to like get sick. Like I can't. And it's so, I guess it must be really rare, but yeah, in just under 2 hours. But I just have this weird, and especially like humanoid figures, like big statues, it makes me so sick. I've never heard of anybody else having this except on the internet. But we went to this spa a couple years ago, and it had these big what are those called? Pharaoh. They had these big pharaoh statues, and I was like, oh, I can't take it. Like I can't look at these. But
Why is that? Why does that bother you?
I don't know. I've just got I'm just a very anxious phobic person, but it's not a rational thing. It just I can't take it. I can't look at it. So like when I was in Chicago, what is it? The Sears Tower, I was like looking up at it and I couldn't. It just makes me like it is a phobia. Yeah, there's no reason. It's just and I have the same thing with the ocean. When I look at the ocean, it takes me a really really long time. Yeah, exactly. Dark Angel, and Planar Crossroads. It's by definition irrational, but like when I look at the ocean, I get the same thing. So it takes me a really long time, because the ocean's wonderful. You have to kind of get used to it, but I get seasick looking at the ocean. I don't know what it is. Yeah, Chef of Love says the ocean makes me afraid of things eating me from below. I don't have that as much, but yeah. Shadowspawn the Assassin, I would join the Navy if I were gonna join the military, and if they let people my age in and whatever. I like the Navy. I think I have like a misguided idea of it though, because I knew a guy that was in the Navy and he could fold things really well and said there was a whole lot of singing. And I'm a theater kid, so I was like, I want to be in the Navy.
In the Navy. You've heard that song, right?
Yeah. The Village People, right?
I don't know.
Maybe that's
that
not the
part.
Village People.
Maybe?
Not the Air Force. Oh, I don't fly. I mean, I think you have to fly for all of it. I am 35 or under. I'm 30.
Yes, they confirmed it is the Village People.
Excellent. I would be very surprised if I were wrong about something like that. I'm kind of a useless oracle of old music. Air Force don't fly, Navy flies. Ugh. Boot camp, they teach you how to fold clothes so all your clothes fit in a coffin locker. Yeah, I worked with this guy at Starbucks, and he was the best apron folder. I was like, this is hot, and I don't know why.
Also, for the people who may be just joining us or maybe didn't know, the giveaway is open. So hashtag free in the chat. And we are giving away currently 2 sets. And Pointer, to answer your question from earlier, the next show is Reaper Live.
Reaper Live. We've got a lot of announcements. I'm going to come on Reaper Live tonight, too.
Okay. We have 2 primary announcements that people have been asking for that they should be incredibly excited for. That's all I'm going to say. But I promise you'll want to be there tonight.
2 sets of what exactly? I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, 2 sets of prizes. Goodies. Freebies.
3 sets now. Thank you,
Calasandra. Paint Pokey and Sophie Silver. Sophie Silver. Oops. I got it on the wrong spot. Sophie Silver right there. We were playing with swatches, which I think is going to be part of my new segment. Like a new segment that I do. Yeah. Apron folder, that's right. Somebody, No. Valender the Red, Sophie Silver is actually really old, and I don't remember where it came from. I don't think it was a Reaper Con color, but it's like really popular, and we haven't released it in forever, ever. So people really like it and want it, and
Oh boy.
I'm not good at saying no. Yeah, forever, ever, forever, ever.
So I just received a phone call that I declined during this show, by the way.
Uh-huh.
That was in regards to, for the people who've been watching for quite a while. I think we talked about this. My fiance and I were involved in that. You remember that accident from like
Yes.
it was the end of 2018, I think it was.
Yes.
And I just got a call back from Allstate about, I guess, their investigation that's taken not almost 2 years, but going on 2 years. They finally called me back about, I guess, follow up on it because it was 100% the other people's fault, and they had it listed as both McKaylee and the person's fault. And we told them that as a result of it being 100% their fault, that the costs and stuff incurred should be on them. So that was kind of something we were going over. But I finally received a phone call.
So
So
did your
you
people
might be
sue
interested
their
to know that.
people?
No, there was no suing or anything. It was
Oh,
really just more of a negotiation of,
yeah.
hey, we really think this is reasonable. There was no need to sue or anything. That's like the next step. Um, I hope we don't have to go that route. So we'll find out once I call them back.
I think
So
your insurance company does it for you.
they do. They did most of that.
Yeah.
Yes, it was between the insurance companies essentially, and I think that's what they're asking more information.
Howdy,
Is
Dr. Bob. Howdy, Dave Dwyer. Dr. Bob, you can do hashtag free and maybe get you some Sophie Silver. Um, yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, that's crazy. Um, Justin's fiance hasn't she been in 2 accidents not caused by her, involving motorcycles? Ugh.
one was no, one of those she was on the scene of. She
Yeah,
she wasn't a
she's
part of the
witness
accident.
too.
She was just she was the first one on the scene, and that one was the gruesome one that she almost witnessed, or at least witnessed the immediate aftermath of a drunk guy and his girlfriend on the back of said motorcycle, and it was like 2 a.m. So you can imagine where this is going. But it was on the highway, and it was not. It was not a good scene. Let's put it that way. In fact, to the degree that I love motorcycles, and I owned one at the time, and because of that accident and what it did to my fiance, I actually ended up selling my motorcycle. A part of it was that. So, and because of that, I don't know if I'll ever own another motorcycle. We'll see, but it's
A couple
unlikely.
guys up here got motorcycles at the same time, and I was like, y'all are dumb to be picking this up. I mean, not dumb, but don't be picking this up late in life.
Hey,
Not
I
late
picked it
in
up
life.
early.
You know what I mean.
Thank you.
What?
I picked it up early. This would have been, I've had my motorcycle license for what, 4 years now? No,
Yeah, I
longer
guess
than
you're
that.
right.
5, 6 years?
This is Hajjad Pirate. Did we say it was Julie Guthrie? By Julie
Correct.
Guthrie? I don't know the number, but it's from Bones 1. Oh yeah, Valender the Red says a friend of mine hates seeing people with a helmet but no boots, long pants, long sleeves. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that last part, but yeah.
No, you're right, Valendar. That's basically that was the issue with what McKaylee came across. The first one was the boyfriend survived, which does not seem to be justice because he was the one drunk, and she was the one who basically ended up in the middle of the highway at 2 a.m. and you can imagine what happened. So
Dr. Drew says there's something they see in the hospital and they call it the law of inverse worth. And it's where like somebody in a gang or whatever will get shot and they'll survive, but innocent person that gets hit as a pedestrian or whatever doesn't. That it kind of seems like there's a law of inverse worth.
He actually survived playing it because he was thrown into like the median where there wasn't traffic, and his injuries were pretty severe. Like he survived. Granted, I don't know what his quality of life was. I do know that he was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. So I think he ended up in jail or prison or whatever for an amount of time. So
Yeah. Well, I
Dr.
mean,
Bob, we're at 11. No, I'm sorry, we're at 16 subs, I believe. So
yeah.
we're 3 set.
So we got a kind of challenge here where I got the skin color on the vest color, and the vest color is lighter. I think it won't matter though. This paint covers pretty well. My mom forbid my dad to get one, so he bought me one instead for my 15th birthday. Ugh. My boyfriend's dad used to ride motorcycles and wouldn't ever let my boyfriend get one, which I'm thankful for. Thanks,
thank
Dr.
you,
Bob.
Dr. Bob.
Yes, thousands of people ride motorcycles safely every day and wear safety gear. I'm one of those people. Yes, there's nothing wrong with riding a motorcycle. And in fact, like, I love riding around just looking at stuff. And I think the motorcycle's the best way to enjoy that. And the gas
It's what I'm.
mileage, it's what you miss most.
Yeah, it's the freedom. It's the riding around. No, you're right. 100% safe.
I dated a guy when I was in my early 20s that worked out in Utah and would come see me, like come back home, and he rode a motorcycle the whole way. And I hated it. I hated it.
I mean, in the beginning of Michaela and I's relationship, the first like 6 months, I think, all I had was my motorcycle, my cruiser, and that's all I took back and forth to her apartment, to work, regardless of the weather.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Justin, you need more freedom than being pantless?
I used to ride pantless.
No, you didn't.
No, but I did.
Stop
Listen,
with the stories.
Hey, I will say that my first 6 months of when I was dating, no, before that, I'm sorry, when I was in really good shape and I had my motorcycle, I was pretty much a stereotypical, like I wore a helmet. I always wore a helmet, but I didn't wear leathers and stuff like that. And there were times when I wore shirts that were, the shirts that are like split down the side. They basically don't have any sort of like, they're basically
like,
non-shirts.
what are they called? Are they called muscle shirts?
I guess you could call them that, sure. And that might be what they're known as. But yeah, that was I rode around like that, and of course I drove a super sport bike. I didn't have a poncho. Was a good way to imagine what it looked like. That's kind of what it looked like. Was a poncho.
Borat's bathing suit. I love that beef in the hole. Y'all have got to know that Borat's like my Citizen Kane. I love Borat. Okay. Let's see. Al Bevizin says, I wear a vest and helmet, jeans mostly, and boots or good shoes. Yes, Samurai Jack. Sophie Silver was the second or third special edition paint made after Hallowed Orange. And Hallowed Orange is one of the colors that we didn't have a formula for anymore, and that's another one that I'm working on. I've got it almost perfect, but you will see Hallowed Orange soon. TM. I cannot. Let's see.
Yeah, that's Al Bevizin. I used to put my I'd put my buds in, and then put my helmet on top, and then obviously run it to my phone. But that was some of the best times, was riding around like that. I only ever crashed it once though. I only laid my back down one time, Sadie. Once.
Isn't that enough?
It was terrifying. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was pretty awful. Yeah, I was on my way to take an exam. Not an exam, a final exam is what it was, for my second chemistry class. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Okay, so JJT Rocking asked, what is Reaper Mini 00001. We're going to go into Reaper history and we're going to test my knowledge. I think we started making planes, right? Was Cav? I would say it's either Cav or DHL. So it would be like 2000 something, right?
I have no idea.
Is Dave still in here?
Less than no idea. Dave is supposed to be.
Dave, you're our only hope. What was the first mini or the first few minis? I'd like to know. But I swear I think it was like Cav or planes. We also had we had like a historical, I asked Dave and Ed in their office when I was down there and they had a hard time answering this too. Oh, David's not in here. We'll ask that tonight, actually.
That's a good question for tonight. Yeah.
They've had this discussion on the show before. Yes.
On that note, it's about time to wrap up.
It is about time to wrap up.
I just drew the names for the giveaway too. So when you're ready for that, let me know.
Man. All right. Go ahead. I was about to say something dumb.
What were you about to say?
It's just so exciting that you already have the names drawn, but we don't know who they are. So it's like that Schrodinger's cat thing. You know what I'm talking about?
No, you're 100. I know a lot about Schrodinger's cat. Actually.
Yeah, we love you too, Mike Disney. Schrodinger's winners, exactly. Maladrox says, and then I'll stop. Maladrox says, Wikipedia says Reaper Miniature started in Fort Worth, Texas, July 4th, 1992. That's correct. Initially, 2 lines of miniatures were produced: Distinguished Flying Collectibles, line of World War II aircraft, and Renaissance Dreams, a line of fantasy jewelry. Yeah. Okay. So, thanks, Spoons. Thanks, Mike Disney. I'm working on painting more. I'm working on a few things. I'll talk about those at the beginning of the next show. But yes, this is Hajad Pirate by Julie Guthrie. He's got his skin on, his little sash, his pants. He's doing great. Yes. Yeah, I love jewelry. Okay. Yeah, Dave's not here, man. Somebody already get that? Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, let's see here. Our winners are... I'm going to say all of them, and then I'm going to announce. I'm going to put them in chat. So our 4 winners are Vecknon, Chef of Love 78, Jenny Nites, and then bcocanour. Look at that, Bryce. You won.
Yay! That's what you get for helping us. Sharing your knowledge. So email giveaways@reapermini.com. Include the show you won on, the date, in the subject, and in the body have your Twitch handle, exactly how you spell it, and in the body of the email have your name and shipping address so we can send it to you. So yeah, it'll be Sophie Silver and a Poke Tool, and yeah, look forward to new paints. Hopefully we'll be able to get some oops samples out, or like fun samples that we've made like just for you guys just to have. JJT Rocking, also, are you guys doing something to your paints to make them clog? So I haven't noticed that, but I might have to talk to Anne about it.
Oh, they said they haven't ever clogged. So, I mean, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think what they're suggesting is, are we doing anything to keep them from clogging?
Yes. I mean,
okay.
Kind of. I mean, they're going to clog. Everything should be the same on our end. But some things are somewhat variable. Our bases, I think, can be somewhat variable. And the nipples and caps and bottles, it wouldn't be the bottles, it would be the nipples. They are not, they're not exactly manufactured as tight as like our pumping is. It's not that you're not using it fast enough, spoons, because I just made that, what's it called? I just made that color, that sample, and it was clogged. So I would be willing to bet it's the nipples. Yeah, I'd be willing to bet it's the nipples.
I read Rings' statement as shake your pants vigorously.
Shake your
not
pants
paint.
vigorously.
Yeah, just shake them vigorously and often, and that's, yeah. All right, on that note, Trash Ram has his nipples clog all of the time. All right, good job, Trash. Outside of that, I think we're ready to go.
So, Justin, we're about to go, but do you like that you can see this man here in my little big camera?
Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot, actually.
That's my favorite new thing about how I've very subtly set it up different. Okay, so I am going to find a raid for us.
Oh, do you want to choose the raid?
Yeah.
Because we've been raiding Paizo all week because of PaizoCon.
As much as I would like to do that.
If you have something in mind, then I'm all ears.
Let's look. Sorry I'm taking so long. We're gonna make it though. You're gonna be okay. Ooh. Who's this? Okay. I think who we're gonna check out is Nalindi, a creative streamer from South Wales in the UK. Paint models, miniatures, occasionally play games. So it's Nelinde. I think they've got like 41 viewers.
Yeah, we've rated this person a couple of times.
Somebody just said something about Rob Halford in here. These are fam. We need to get in there. You kids still saying fam? Probably not.
You're asking me? I have no idea.
My honey will tell me later. Trashorama. I like it when I'm very Texas. It makes me proud. All right, we're going to Nalind. Share the Reaper love. Spread it. Do we share it or do we spread it?
We spread it. We share it. Anything you want to do.
Whip it around.
Whip it around. Just whip it around. Shake it vigorously and often.
They're talking about Prince, too. We got to get it going. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we love you. We'll see you later.
Hour and a half. Back on the channel, we'll have Reaper Live. You'll see more of Sadie, and you'll hear more of me, unfortunately. So we look forward to it, guys.
All right. Thank you, guys. We love you. We'll see you soon. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
See you guys.